Email Etiquette 101. A general set of expectations regarding how people should communicate when sending electronic email. Why does it matter? Professionalism. You want to come across as someone who knows what they're talking about. Efficiency. Writing emails that are clear and eloquent will increase the effectiveness of your communication. Respect. If you are writing an email, you're often making a request. You want your audience to respect you as a person. Common sense. An element of basic humanity is being kind to others. Angry, hateful emails are counterintuitive to that. Consider your audience. How might your style and tone be different when emailing a boss, parents, a friend, a pastor? In your academic career, there will be many times you email a teacher. When doing so, make these tips a priority. Tip number 1, use a professional email address. Your teacher will not appreciate receiving an email from Sir Mix-a-Lot Ninja at ymail.com. Tip 2, use a professional font. Make it clear. Avoid bright colors and highlighting behind the texts. They're difficult to read. Include a clear, direct subject line in the subject, like your name, the class period, and the topic. For example, Molly Wheeler in first hour period for reading journal class. Tip 4, begin with a professional salutation, like Dear Mrs. Cruz or Good morning, Mr. Deplin. Spell the recipient's name correctly. It looks really lazy to email someone with a request but not be thoughtful enough to take the time to double check the spelling of their name or capitalize their name. 6, avoid exclamation points. They're informal. Avoid using all caps because it sounds like you're shouting at your audience. Avoid sarcasm followed by winky faces or other emojis because it's difficult to decipher tone in an email. Emojis are not professional and sometimes they can be construed as passive-aggressive. For example, thanks for the D you gave me. You hear the sarcasm, but if you're writing it, you don't hear the tone. Don't email when you're angry. If the subject of this email is a sensitive one, it's best to discuss it in person. Words are read differently when they are heard. Avoid blaming or excuses. Take responsibility and ownership. Don't blame your pet or your parents, your teacher, your siblings, or the president. Be clear and mention specifics. Your teacher has many students, such as, today in class, you handed back my paper. Well, which class are you talking about? Which paper are you talking about? This is a very common error students make. Be concise. Say what you need to say in as few sentences as possible. Avoid using words like you, if at all possible. It puts the recipient in the defensive mode. Don't email asking for extra credit. Most of the time students do this. They haven't completed some of the mandatory coursework that was assigned. If it's really that important to you, ask in person. Include both your first and last name in the signature at the end. For example, thank you, sincerely, my best, then your name. Proofread. Proofread. Use complete sentences and proper grammar, otherwise you look unintelligent. Include a compliment and or a note of thankfulness. Compliments and gratitude make your audience more receptive to your request, and they also help you to come across as a kind person who is not completely narcissistic. Allow for response time. Allow your teacher at least 24 hours to reply to your email. Believe it or not, we have lives too. Never email asking for something as soon as possible. It's rude. Beware of high and low registers, such as when you're talking to a superior, like a boss, you want to say things like, thank you so much for helping me study for the upcoming novel test. Whereas a low register tone would be as if you're talking to a friend or family member, like, it was so awesome hanging out with you today, studying for that test. There is a difference between when you talk to a boss, a teacher, an adult, versus your friends. So just remember that. If you have no choice but to write a lengthier email, use bullets where possible, because bulleted questions and statements are easier to read, mentally to organize for us teachers, and to remember in emails that are lengthy paragraphs, rather than lengthy paragraphs. So, How to email a teacher 101? If the content of the email is on a negative side at all, use a flattery sandwich approach, which is where you first start off with a positive comment or flatter the person, then make your request or your complaint gently worded, and then at the end, come back with some sort of thankfulness, some positivity, some flattering. Ultimately, the way you email someone reflects on who you are as a person. Take your time and do it correctly so that people do not only take you seriously, but also have mad respect for you.